grade. This happened all the time at Bubba's.
Oh yeah.
Where you get either a really, really, really nice guy. Really nice guy. I can't say too much. But you get a really nice guy. And I was going to say, no. Okay, so you get a really nice guy.
Hey y'all, I'm Becca.
Hey y'all, I'm Jordan.
Welcome to another episode of Girl Yap, and today we have a special guest. This is Chloe. You don't know Chloe. She's a Whiskey Baron OG.
Yes. For a long time.
How many years did you work at Whiskey Baron?
On payroll, I think it was like 2 or 3, but not on payroll, probably much longer.
She's been a regular.
Yeah, I've been here a while.
She's a fan favorite. She's a fan favorite.
For sure.
We love Chloe.
Sure. You worked security first.
Yes.
And then last year we had brought you on a bartender, and then she moved, which was rude, but we're moving past it.
Yeah.
Well, she might be
moving back.
Yeah, I might be coming back.
I feel like everybody just
back.
It's the secret spells I put on everybody. They just have to come back to a Whiskey Baron.
Like people just like graduate back to.
Yeah.
Chloe just stayed longer than I did.
Yeah.
She toughed it out.
He moved away for one singular month and then moved back.
I think it was like 1.5, 2-ish.
That's
we'll give
full
2.
lie.
Did you sign a lease though when you left? Like when you moved?
So I
See,
lived
that's what
with
got
my
me,
2.
because I would have been back much sooner had that lease not existed.
So you were in an apartment? You were living in an apartment?
In a townhome, yeah.
Oh, okay. And what are you doing now? Are you still in that lease?
I'm still in said oh, no, I do it month to month, but
okay,
I can just like come to Colorado and find myself if I need
That's what we're here for. Chloe's such a Whiskey Baron OG that she has a tattoo of the Whiskey Baron coordinates.
I do. It's right here. I don't know if they can see that. But
red, black, right?
Yeah.
Red and black, our colors.
And the coordinates are directly in the middle of the dance floor.
I love that so much.
That's where you can find the sparkly guitar.
Exactly. Yeah. It's underneath the sparkling guitar.
When Chloe dies, we're putting her ashes in that guitar.
Let's not go that far.
As long as
I
like
did.
if something happens to the building, the guitar goes like makes it out of the building.
We can't just be like,
that's the one thing.
Hey, BT Dubs, there's someone's ashes in the guitar.
Yeah, or like if the building catches fire, I need you guys to get the guitar down.
Which means we'd have to bust up the ladder, get out the ladder.
Yes.
And be like, wait, the building is on fire, but let me grab this guitar real
Somebody's
quick
either
because Chloe's
thrown
in
the
it.
air.
But
to
also,
jerk
like,
it
if I
down
just
there.
go down with Whiskey Baron, that would also like
that's what I'm saying.
would work.
I'm
I
like,
think
just
that's
have my
fitting.
funeral here.
Right.
Celebration of life, because we don't want a funeral.
Right.
Celebration of
Weddings,
life.
funerals.
Celebrate my freaking life on the dance floor.
Go to thewhiskeybaron.com to book any
book
sort of
your
celebration you would like.
Even of life.
Yes.
So we covered that you worked at Whiskey Baron, you were a security guard, and then at your other job you were just managing, correct? You had just left a management position.
Yes, I was in charge of bartenders, servers, and a kitchen. Which
Okay.
was
So you moved back. We moved back to Branson or
Ozark, but outside of Branson, yes.
Okay, close.
Yeah.
And then that's where you started a new job.
Yes.
Cool.
How was that?
So I've worked at, Whiskey Baron and other various nightclubs and bars in Colorado Springs, but country clubs is a whole new game.
Is it?
Yeah. That was definitely an experience.
It's catering more a feel to members.
Yeah,
you have to
you have
cater to a
600
member,
bosses telling you what to do every single day.
Sure.
And they're all 70 to 90 years old.
And they're paying to be there.
Right.
They're like
they're going to tell you how much
me.
they pay to be there every single day.
I used to work at a country club from 18 to like 24, just kind of during my college time. But it is a different vibe. Because at the bar, you could be like, all right, I don't like your vibe.
Right.
You got to go. At a country club, you cannot do that. It's very much respect. Like you have to be very...
Is it respect or is it just I pay to be here, so you better be nice?
It's
to me?
entitlement. There's no
but
respect.
that's what I'm
it's
saying.
entitlement.
It's like but you have to always be like the customer's right.
Yeah.
You always have to be like that in a country club.
And I think that was like an issue I had because everywhere I've worked, like there's a bouncer right around the corner. And if you have an issue, they're gone. No big deal. No, you're going to see that person every day. For the rest of your life.
And you're going to know their family.
Exactly. You know their family and you know that they hate their wife and you know everything about their life.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that.
Because a lot of the guys go there and they'll just sit at the bar and they'll just talk to the bartender and just get drunk all day at the country club.
Right.
Yeah.
Or they'll go play golf or whatever. And they'll come back sauced up and sit at the bar.
Yeah.
And they'll just sit there because they don't want to go home too.
Yeah, because they hate everything about their life except the country club. It's insane. I have always, like, since this job said, like, if I ever get married and my husband is like, I'm joining a country club, or I took up golf, immediate divorce.
Immediately,
and if I ever have a daughter and she's
not.
like, I got a job at a country club. No, you don't. I'll pay you not to work there. Like, it's not a great place.
That's hard because I feel like you had said you had been in the service industry for so long previous. And I think it's just a whole different level of the service industry.
Oh, yeah. It was definitely different than here or like downtown or anything like that.
Yeah. And I feel like here at the Whiskey Baron,
like, I'm coming in, having drinks for 4 hours, probably going home slosh.
Because we also,
maybe see you next week. No, this is like, I'll see you every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
And it was a weird gray area. Like, here it was, okay, someone had too much to drink. You're done. Bye. There it was, well, like, have they actually had, like, it was a weird gray area because everyone just drives their golf carts around, like, to their homes.
Can you get it?
You
can get it.
You can.
Was this a course where people lived
it was
in
like
a
gated community. And so the golf course is just surrounded by these people's homes.
Sure.
But yeah, they would just drive their golf carts home, which was like, you can get a DUI on
You can definitely get a DUI on a golf cart.
Yes.
Honestly, you can get a DUI on a
kinda
bike.
on a lawnmower.
You get a DUI on a bike coming home drunk from Glühwein in Germany.
Is that what you did?
That is what I did. And I busted my knee open because I just literally fell over at a stoplight, like, and just crashed and died.
Yeah.
You can get a DUI on a freaking the
not the hoverboard.
electric. Yes, you can. Anything with a motor. Anything with a motor, anything operating, you can.
I'm going to ask the cops that on Wednesday. I'm going to say, can I get a DUI on a hoverboard if I'm on the sidewalk?
DUI an electric wheelchair.
I want to know.
Can you give me a printed list of
everything
I can get a DUI on?
Just for future reference.
That's what I was going to say. Like, what about a horse?
I don't know.
Because I feel like the Amish, where I was like originally from, like they could definitely probably get a DUI. Like on a buggy and a horse.
But the Amish don't drink, don't they?
No, but like there's some, because
like
they would stop my
Amish
dad
people.
on gravel roads and be like, "Hey, do you have like beer in your truck?"
Bad Amish.
Yeah, there's
people.
some that just are.
Do they have like Amish gangs?
Like
have
Amish
you
mafia?
not
like sitting
have
at a
you not
crosswalk?
watched the TLC show? There's a TLC show that used to exist that was fully about the Amish community, and like, there's like Amish freaking mafia guys walking around.
Amish mafia.
I'm on my way to watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Oh my God, you should. I
You're
do
so-
not
I-
watch reality TV, but that show,
I
heard
ate
it
it up.
is golden.
It was
it
great.
is.
Chloe, you had talked about how you were used to being, at a bar where you had a security guard like right around the corner to help you.
Yeah.
And this past Wednesday, I believe it was, Gracie was doing a little assistant manager shift with me, and this guy had puked all over the bar, on the floor of the bar. He left a nice trail all the way to where he was standing, so it was quite easy to find him. But me and her go over there to like tell him that he needs to leave, like, you need to go. And of course they're trying to like flirt with Gracie, and one guy looks at me, he's like, "Do you work here?" I said, quite literally, the manager. So yeah, I do work here. And then some of the other security guards had started to come up to like join us in the conversation and just kind of like be there for Gracie and I in case these guys got out of hand. And the guys are sure enough, they're like, "Well, why are all these security guards coming over here? Like, what are they doing?" And it's like they don't comprehend that it is two girls trying to kick a group of guys out. So when my security guards come over to assist me, they're doing their jobs. They're making sure that you guys don't like cause a scene. And I feel like it's just when people get so thrown off about that, it's like, why are you being weird about two other dude security guards coming up to two girls who are trying to kick you out? And I'm sure, like, I saw you kick out plenty of dudes in your day. I remember my first day, I saw you kicking out a dude, and I was like, hell yeah, I like this girl.
Yeah, when I started security, I was the only girl on security, and that was a good time. But that's when like whiskey was like the Wild West, and there were no rules of security.
We've implemented a lot of rules since then.
It's a much safer place. But yeah, like working somewhere that's not there is definitely like weird, because when we had to ask people to leave, and it happened First of all, they immediately say that they're, suing you, or they're never going to join the club again, or whatever it was. But they still get just as angry. Like, there was one time, there's like this probably 65, 70-year-old man who works in the pro shop. He does this for his retirement, and he kindly asked someone to leave, not aggressive at all. And you would have thought that this, like, he just ruined this whole guy's life.
Entitlement.
Yeah.
Entitlement.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've kicked people out as, like, the manager, been like, you need to go. And they'll look at me, they'll be like, you're just on a fucking power trip and you're a bitch. And they just start going in. And I'm like, why are we doing? Is it because I'm a girl? Is it because you're mad because you're a grown man? I told you need to leave because you're acting like a child, that now you're just going to, like, think that I'm some sort of power trip. First of all, I probably am. Anyway, but that's not why I'm kicking you out. I'm kicking you out because you're being disrespectful to my staff. You're drunk. You are just acting a fool. So just leave. Like, why do I have to be on a power trip for doing my job?
But you don't go on power trips like that in front of people's faces. You know what I mean? Like, you actually just do stay the course of, like, what needs to be done and taken care of. Like, you really do. You keep it professional and everything. But it does come to a fine line when people start, like, getting aggressive with it. Then you're like, all right, buddy.
I try to be
or
so
women.
nice. Yeah.
I would rather kick out a man every single
Same.
day over a woman.
Same.
I didn't care if the guy was 2 times as big as me. I will take that over the little bitty girls who don't want to come out of the bathroom stall. They're the worst ones.
They are the worst. Kicking out girls out of the bathroom, because we have a blanket rule. I'm going to let you all know this rule. So in case you come to the Whiskey Baron, I don't have to kick you out because you're doing this. You cannot go in the stall with your friend in the bathroom.
One person
per stall.
per stall.
Because people do things in the stalls that are not appropriate, that are breaking laws. And then if you tell them that they have to leave because they were in a stall, we actually have signs in the bathroom, because my first summer working here, I kicked these 2 girls out because they were in a stall together. And she said, well, there's no signs that say that. So the next day, printed that shit out, laminated it, stapled it in the bathroom. And I'm sure you have plenty of stories about kicking girls out of the bathrooms alone.
Hope was really good at kicking girls out of the bathroom.
I miss
because
Hope.
She had no fear at all. And so if I had to go into the bathroom, I was grabbing Hope. She's the one who came up with the bartender or the security carrying like a bar key to flip open that lock. Because there was one night we were doing bathroom checks, and she's like, hey, I can't get these 2 girls out of the stall. And by the time we both get in there were like hands and clothes in places that there should not be, and heads in places there should not be. So that was probably like the wildest story of the girls' bathroom, minus like the fights that would happen in the bathroom, because they think like, oh, there's no one in here to get me. No, we're walking the bathrooms too.
Yeah.
And also, that's just very high school.
It
We
is.
don't fight in bathrooms
Right.
anymore. Come on, because nobody's watching. Fight them outside. Fight them in the parking lot. Shit, fight them somewhere, but not in the bathroom.
Exactly, because
dude.
then you have to go around like 20 other girls that are just standing there making TikToks and taking pictures, and now you're getting thrown onto the ground in the back of their TikTok.
Yeah.
And no, there's not enough room.
No.
Our bathrooms are not
Our
that
bathrooms
big.
are small.
Yeah.
That happened to me a couple months ago. I had gotten radioed to go help some of the newer girl security guards kick out someone from the bathroom on a Wednesday, and I was like, here we go. So I go in there and I like bang on the stall. I'm like, hey, Whiskey Baron security, 1 person per stall. You guys gotta go. And with her full chest, this little girl's like, fuck you. You need to chill out. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, all right. Okay, I'm just going to wait then. So I just wait outside of the stall. And as soon as she comes out of the stall, I'm like, you get to leave now. And she's like, you need to chill the fuck out. You're being a bitch. Like, she's just going off on me. And I was like, you know what? We'll just go talk to the cops outside. Because at this point, we have cops on Wednesdays. Which is, did not happen when you were around. But it's actually kind of been a lifesaver. But I was like, let's just go talk to the cops. And she's like, yeah, let's. And I was like, all right, girl, let's go. So
it's always the little ones.
It's always the little
bitty ones.
The little bitty ones.
Chihuahuas, dude.
Yes.
Little chihuahuas.
Babe. Well, we get outside, and the a male security guard ended up helping me get her outside, because then she was like, well, like, I'm just not moving. Like, she was, going like, I'm like a toddler, like,
My favorite's when that you get to the bar by the door and they're grabbing onto the bar, they're grabbing onto the barrels, anything to like make them stay in the bar.
So we get her outside and she turns around to start yelling at me and a cop steps in between us and then she starts crying. She starts crying and looks at the cop and goes, "Help me." And I said, "Oh, no, you were not doing that inside. Inside, you were like fully 10 toes down, like, here we go. And now I get you outside in front of the cop, like I told you I was going to. And you're crying."
You're like, "Girl, I want to drag you right now, dude."
I was so mad. I walked right back inside because I was like, whatever, you guys deal with her because I cannot handle this child
That's a good thing
anymore.
about cops on Wednesdays, though, is like security can literally take them out and be like, "Here you go."
Yeah.
And they can arrest them for whatever or, do whatever they want. Like
They haven't like
they're
arrested
doing.
anybody.
Yeah.
But as long as they're like outside, because that was
But they
always the
kinda
issue.
stand
Like
ground.
once you get them out of the bathroom, that was a hassle. But then getting them to the door, that was usually fine. But something would happen in between the bathroom and outside where they were ready to go again times 10.
Mm-hmm.
So having a cop out there would be super helpful.
It has been. They definitely people kind of immediately chill out when they see there's a cop standing right there.
Yeah.
And we don't have as much. No, I'm not even going to say that. We don't have as many problems anymore. I'll just say that.
It's
we never
died
really
down.
did, but I'm just saying, like, people trying to start fights and just doing stupid stuff. Like, they see that cop and they're like, "Oh, it's like actually real.
Yeah.
I could
Go to jail right now."
Good. There was this dude breaking into somebody's, on Wednesday, he was looking in people's cars. And there was a cop out in the parking lot. And the cop literally chased him. I don't know if the cop got him, but...
No, I don't think he did. I don't even know if he chased him. I think he just kind of like went over and was like, "What are you doing? Like, hello?" We had a kid with a fake ID Wednesday. Well, he got to the front door and Brandon was like, "This is a fake." So he like scanned it in our ID app and it popped up as a fake. But Brandon was like, "My system's acting weird. I'm going to have the cop run it." And I was like, "All right." So I give it to the cop and I'm like, "Hey, we think this is a fake." And then as soon as I like hand it over to the cop, the kid like gets on the phone and then just starts like backing away. He just like,
and then he just
next thing you know, he's like halfway down the
he's gone.
block.
That was my favorite when someone would hand me a fake ID from Missouri, knowing I had a Missouri driver's license at the time, and they would sit there and argue with me about it forever. And I'm like, "No, like I promise you, because mine looks like this."
Yeah.
And then they would just like get all pale in the face and just be like, "Oh, I have to go find my friend," and then you don't see them
You're
the
like,
rest
"I am
of the
Miss
night.
Branson."
Exactly.
I know how this works.
I won that title for a reason.
I am Miss Branson. I hold the law.
Exactly.
That's wild. Yeah, there was like 3 Wednesdays ago, there was just this fight, and it was a nonsense fight. It was these 2 girls, and they got pretty liquored up, but I'm pretty sure they were drinking before they came in. And they were standing in front of my bar. I forget who I was with. I think I was with another bartender, Ashley. And they were standing in front of our bar. And then all of a sudden, there were these 2 guys. They were just chilling, not a problem all night. And you just see this girl from out of nowhere, this hand go, whop. And she just nailed this guy right on the face with her nails and scratched his face open. And then they just became a problem from then. And then her titty fell out of her shirt all night.
Yeah, it kept happening all night.
All night. And then she was out front just like becoming a problem.
Yeah, they kept trying to kick the security guards. I don't know why people try to kick the security guards. First of all, rude. Second,
Right.
what are you doing? Stupid you look trying to kick somebody drunk? Because it's just like...
And your titty's out,
Right.
dude.
Yeah.
All the security guards are like,
When they would try to kick or just immediately try to grab my hair, that was the most irritating. Because I'm like, come on. Like, you are already 4 feet tall. Just give it up. Just,
Yeah.
I'm not going to touch you. You don't touch me. We'll go our separate ways.
A couple months ago, we had, I guess it was like last year, we had a new girl security start. And on her first day, which was a Wednesday, she showed up and had like necklaces and earrings on and her hair down. And I was like, "Hey, girl, I'm going to give you some advice right now. Take all of that off. Because if you get into a fight for some reason, if someone tries to grab you while you're kicking them out, they're ripping those earrings right out of your... I wear like my smallest little like studs.
Oh, yeah.
on
I wouldn't
Wednesdays.
wear any.
And
Or
your
any
hair up.
necklaces.
Get your hair up.
I would
Yeah.
braid my hair like in boxer braiding. Just to make sure no one's touching me.
Chloe was ready for fight night. She was sauced up, ready to
We
go.
got Aquaphor on the eyebrows and under the eyes, just ready to go.
Put eye black under my
Yeah. Whiskey Bear and Fight Club.
Yeah.
Follow us on TikTok.
Follow us on TikTok. Maybe to come.
Just be me and Brandon on a
Yeah.
Wednesday.
That's what Brandon sometimes... Never mind, I shouldn't say that. Anyway.
There's a lot of things filtered.
But I was kind of talking earlier about just I think overall being females in the service industry is like it's not something you know exists until you experience it, and then you're like, oh wow, this is crazy.
Like the problems you face daily or
yeah,
something.
I think I was talking about it a couple days ago to Dave, and I was just like, I don't think anyone has ever gone up to one of our male security guards or one of our male bartenders and told them they should smile more. But why is that a comment I get once a week?
Yeah. That's especially like, so oddly enough, that didn't happen at the country club because they don't care. You're just a warm body to bring them liquor. But everywhere else was like just like that. And I think like I've always told people like this industry attracts like a lot of young employees, but especially female employees. Mm-hmm. But it's super weird because like here it's Colorado Springs is pretty populated. I've had more inappropriate comments and like gestures in Missouri than I ever did here.
That's crazy.
Right. I live in a very small town
and they're all just,
yeah. You're like, I know your wife.
Right. Like I know your whole family.
But
like,
I will say this. It's like, it is different. I've noticed because I used to work in restaurants, like service industry. It's different in a bar scene.
Yeah.
Like you go in a restaurant, you're getting comments where dudes are like hitting on you, whatever. But it's never like below the belt like here. Like when you get into a bar, I don't know what it is. It just turns like to level 10. But it's just a totally different service. It's a totally different like people just coming at you.
Well, yeah, I just think
it's just
that
totally different working in a bar.
People think that if you're a bartender, like you're supposed to like be at their beck and call all the time and smile and be cheery and happy. And it's like, yeah, I'll say hi and I'll be nice when I come up to take your order. But like, if
we don't have to be best friends.
I'm not your best friend. And if I have 20 other people at my bar, I can't stand right there with you all night long and hold your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, I jump behind the bar a lot to help the girls when they get like busy. And so when I'm jumping, because in behind the bar, that means it's busy, which means that I don't have the time to like sit and have a conversation with you. So I'm coming up, I'm like, hey, how you doing? What's your drink order? And then like, I'm moving on. Like it's done. Here's your drink. Here's your total. Like, thank you. Appreciate it. Like I give smiles, but I'm not just like, hi. Oh my God. A regular who shall not be named. He doesn't come here anymore. But a couple years ago was like, you should really smile more. And I said, you should really shut up. And he goes, oh my God, you're not one of those girls, are you? And I was like, please, what do you mean by those girls? Why do I have to smile more? I tell people when they're like, oh my God, your skin looks so young. I'm like, great. It's because I don't smile and I don't go in the sun. This is how I avoid having smile lines.
You're going to live forever.
She's a vampire. We love it.
Also, just be funnier. I'll smile if you're funny, or like I'll laugh if you're funny, but if it's not funny, I'm not gonna laugh.
I feel like you're constantly laughing and smiling when I'm like around you though.
Yeah, because you're funny.
Have some humor.
Oh, sorry.
Do better.
That's right. What like people like I'm not a total bitch all the time. The people that know me. But like if you're just like a customer and you're like, smile more. I'm like, hey, shut up.
Nothing irritates me more and faster than when someone tells me I need to smile more. Or when they constantly ask you like, what's wrong? Like if you're not super happy and smiley behind the bar, they're like, what's wrong? Are you okay? Can I make your night better? No. You can go home.
No, Jerry.
Leave me alone.
You're kind of like, it's invasive a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's not your business.
I just made 12 green tea shots. I'm not happy. You're right. I am not happy.
$2 right tip. I made you an entire bottle of Jameson green tea shots and you gave me nothing in return. And now you're telling me to smile.
Your tab was $78. You tipped $2. Sir.
Right. And your friend walked out on his tab. So yeah, I'm not really happy with you right now.
I'm not stoked about it. Thanks. How's your night going? Great. Super.
So I will say the one thing that I cannot stand is the lonely guys that come sit at the bar and think that you're going to give them the attention. So meaning like, I don't want to put people on blast, not specifically a person, but it's like a slow Friday or Saturday night, right? And you're just chilling at your bar. You're doing some light work here, cleaning there. And this one dude just comes, sits at your bar and he looks sad. And then he just starts pounding drinks. And then he's like, he gets to that point and he's like, yeah, me and my wife got in a fight. So here I am drinking. And I'm like, buddy, I'm not your responsibility to keep occupied, you know? That's not, I'm not taking responsibility. Those are the people I will not talk to.
Yeah.
I will not talk to those people. I will leave you and you can sit in your thoughts because you're not my problem. You're your wife's problem.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud. I'm not going to babysit you.
Those
are the worst, dude.
My favorite's when they have a fight with their wife or significant other, but they hate all women.
Yeah.
And then they come to the bar and then they tell you like all women suck and why are women like this, X, Y, and Z. But then they want you to stand there and listen to them say that all night long.
Yeah.
Not my responsibility, dude.
No.
Not my problem. Sorry. Like, go dance or something.
Yeah. I watched a lady storm in here and pull her man's out by his arm at like 12 o'clock at night one time. It was crazy. Dave and I were in the DJ booth, and he was in here with one of his friends, and they were flirting up this girl, and I thought they were all just hanging out. I thought we were all just friends. And next thing you know, this woman comes storming through the front door in her pajamas and grabs this man by the arm. He's like going down the stairs to dance with someone else, and she like grabs him by the arm, and she's like, what are you doing in here? And she just drags him out of the bar. And I was like, oh, we just caught a
justice.
There used to be 2 bouncers who worked here, and their girlfriends and significant other would come do that to them.
Oh, no thanks. Hard pass.
If you're going to date while working in a bar, keep it chill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't be insecure.
Like, really,
and
like,
you can't be
cannot.
psychotic.
No.
That's the one thing I will speak on because I do date someone that did work in the bar. But it's like, bro, you better be chill with me having people at my bar and dudes that are going to be flirty.
Right.
But at the end of the night, like, I'm going home with you. It doesn't mean anything. It's my job.
And
And a
this
lot
is
of
what-
people struggle dating bartenders and
Right.
stuff like that.
And this is what pays for your Christmas gifts. So suck it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm paying for some of our nice dinners,
Exactly.
my guy. Okay? Like, I'm paying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
it's-
bartender's not in love with you, just so you know. Most of the time.
No,
We're not.
99% of the time, your bartender's not in love with you.
no. And they probably also talk about you when they're 10 feet away from you at their bar.
1000%. We keep it in hushed tones, but
Right.
there will be times if someone tips shitty, I'm like, "Ah, you can sit a couple more minutes with that empty drink.
Right.
I'll be back eventually.
Enjoy your ice.
Guys, if you ask for your bartender's number and she says, no, sorry, and then you ask again, it's a hell no.
Yeah.
Your bartender's not interested. Flee the bar.
Also, like, most of the time, we don't have boyfriends, but we're going to tell you we have a boyfriend or
Oh,
that
for
we're
sure.
married or whatever, just so we can avoid that awkward conversation.
And some bartenders will wear rings.
Well, that's what gets even creepier is when, let's say you're like, you guys have seen like on the internet, like wives leaving notes on the receipt that were like, stop flirting with my husband. And it's like 0 tip. It gets at like here, like if I'm like smiling or interacting with a dude and his girlfriend comes over and she gets like real, like gives me the death stare. I'm like, hey girl, that's your man. I'm just trying to be
You're
nice.
being friendly.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be friendly. Okay, people tell me I should smile more, and here I am smiling, and now I'm getting yelled at for it.
You're like, I just got told last conversation to smile more.
But
make
then,
up
like,
my
I'm
mind.
practicing this.
But then, like, if they're like, if you're not all flirty to their boyfriend or whatever, then they leave Yelp reviews about how you're a bitch and they got
Yeah.
the worst customer service
Yeah.
ever, and they will not be returning to the establishment because the bartender was so rude to them.
There
Cody's
is
hit a
no in
strike with
between.
Chloe.
Being a bartender is hard, okay?
Yeah.
It really is because it's hard waters to navigate. This happens
Right.
all the time at Bubba's,
Oh yeah,
where you get either a really, really, really nice guy, Okay, I can't say too much, but you get a really nice guy, and I was gonna say, no. Okay, so you get a really nice guy. He's with a girl. She's absolutely horrible to you, but all you're doing is just your job. That is
Yeah.
taking an order, being friendly, being nice, providing good service. And then he stops talking when you come back for like, hey guys, are we ready to order dinner? And he doesn't say a word. He looks weird in the corner. And she's like, yes, he'll have the steak. I'll have the chicken. And you're like, oh, I know what happened. He got
Yeah.
a talking to in between those little...
Yeah. I think, like you said, it's just hard to navigate because, like, I try when a guy and girl come up and they're obviously a couple, like, I try to give equal nice looks and things to both of them. So, like, I'm not, like, stepping on any toes because I'm really, truly not. I'm just trying to take the man's drink order or the lady's drink order. Like, I'm not into it. I don't want to be a part of your couple either. We've had some
that's
propositions.
A whole other thing is like you're just being
Thruples.
nice and you think, oh, like they just like we get along really well. I gave good service and we're just all friends here. Nope. Then the end of the night happens and you're being invited places.
You're being propositioned.
Right. That was a big thing when I worked downtown.
Oh,
That
I'm
was
sure.
a common
I'm
thing
sure.
for married couples and just people who met that night. Just common
So
occurrence.
brave. So brave.
But they're also, those are the same people that like when they're not trying to pursue someone else, that they're angry about, you know, you were flirting with my man. Why
Yeah.
are you doing that? But
Yeah.
they have the joint Tinder account as well. So
And you're like, confusion. Am I just
Right.
ugly? Is that why you don't like it? Am I ugly?
yeah, doesn't make any sense.
Never will. Never will. I
Oh,
think
bar stories.
bar stories
Oh,
are the
yeah,
best.
I could go on
Just-
for days.
It's kind of entertaining.
I mean, it's always
you live
entertaining.
an entertaining life, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first like serving bar job was up the road. And that was my first experience of like a super drunk, chaotic customer. They were out of town. They drank a handful of Fireball shots. And then they chased each other around in the parking lot with sticks that they found in the parking lot for hours. We didn't, like, we tried to call the cops, but they were like, well, they're not hurting each other. So it's fine.
I have so many questions. Go.
Narnia. They were just wizards, I think.
Yeah,
But like, what do you do with those?
Were they
Right.
trying to hurt each other?
No. So at first we thought they were. We thought the one friend was trying to hit the other friend and it was like an aggressive situation.
Funny.
Well, then the friend also got a stick. And then they were just like fencing almost with the sticks in the parking lot. Keep in mind, it's like a Tuesday, 8 p.m. They're just...
Colorado Springs never fails.
No. Yeah,
That's
it's
too much.
And then ever since then, like nothing's phased me. And the bar, I'm like, yeah, it just happens.
When I've kicked people out and they're like crying, they'll be like, "Oh my God, you made that girl cry," and I'll be like, "Yeah, it's not the first time this week.
But
Thank
it's not
you."
the first time today.
Yeah, I'm sorry that she's crying, but she wasn't crying inside when she was arguing with me. And then when we got outside and she realized that she was like actually leaving, sorry. I always tell people, because I was a teacher before here, I used to make kids cry for a living. So like I'm not fazed by a 40-something-year-old woman who's like way older than me crying because I'm kicking her out of the bar. Sorry.
That's how, okay, so also, the middle-aged women are almost worse than the little underage girls.
They're the
Entitled.
worst.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because, like,
Mhm.
I think you were working here at the time. The lady that I had to push across the
Yeah.
bar and she threw chairs at me and
Yeah.
she was talking this big game, all because I asked her not to record the guy that was knocked out.
Yeah.
And then she like throwing chairs. She wouldn't move. And then I told her she was heavy like 6 times because I couldn't like physically move her. And I'm like, girl, you are heavy. You have to get out of the bar. Didn't work. And she's still talking. No, I can do what I want. X, Y, and Z. She gets to the door bawling.
Yeah.
Completely different person.
Why are we crying now?
Right.
Keep the same energy.
Right. Also, where are your kids? Because she was here
Yeah.
with her kids. Go grab your kids and go home.
Yeah. On Wednesdays, there's been a couple situations where we've kicked out parents who are here with their 18-year-olds.
Over
And
their
I'm like,
children. And their
that's
children
it.
are being the parents.
Yeah, and it's like, that's embarrassing. Like, why are we doing that? And also, please don't yell at me. That's what I understand that people are going through their own stuff and like your private life, but why are we taking it out on me? You're really drunk, mission accomplished, you had a great time, so glad. Why? Because I'm also going through my own things and now you're yelling at me, and this won't be the first time someone will yell at me tonight.
Well, alcohol flares people up. It always does, just flare your emotions up. So you're probably just the person caught in the middle, which is sad.
Well, I don't want
Like
to
we
be.
are at the end of the day.
Oh,
People have a bad day.
We're the therapists.
Were those people caught in the middle or those therapists?
Yes.
It just is.
Speaking
what
of
it is.
parents, my other favorite thing about the bar is when you kick a kid out and they're like, do you know who my dad is? Do you know who my mom is?
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care. Have them call me. I don't care.
Yeah, please
I
do.
will gladly tell them what you did.
Well, we had this was a while ago, but we had kicked this kid out, and then he started fighting security, and he threatened to pull a gun on security. So then things got a little crazier, and he left. And then not too long later, a middle-aged woman comes up to the front door and is like, my son was here, and he got a little roughed up. And Dave was like, well, yeah, he threatened to pull a gun on my staff and come back here and shoot my staff. And the mom was with one of the boys' friends, and she looks at the friend and she's like, did he really say that? And the friend goes, yeah, he did. And she goes, I'm so sorry about that. Have a great night, and just left. And I was like, respect that lady. She knew her kid was in the wrong. She knew her kid was crazy, and she was just like, all right, bye.
She went home and took care of some business. You know she did.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember what did that guy accuse me of? Exploiting children?
Oh.
What did he say?
Okay, details.
So Wednesday night, there's a line around the building. Keep in mind, what I just said was not the exact context of what actually happened. Line around the building, little girl comes up to me and she's like, how do I get in the building? And I would just say whatever number came to my mind. And I was like, $100 and you can go in right now. She's like, how much for me and my friends? How many friends do you have? 2. $300 and you all 3 can go in right now.
Every day I'm hustling.
She immediately Venmos me, no questions asked.
$300.
Was it freezing? Like it was cold outside?
Wasn't even that cold.
No,
She had to
wasn't
pee.
that bad. She had pee.
She had to pee.
So
Outside's free.
I
Okay.
let her go in. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. She's, we're besties. I'm like, great. Got $300. The next morning I get this random Facebook message request, and it's like, I would love an explanation of why you are exploiting children. And, I expect an answer, and said he was going to go to the news, all this other stuff. And then he was like, and my daughter came home drunk last night. And I'm like, she wasn't when she was here. So that sounds like a you and your daughter problem.
I remember I was like running errands, and my phone just starts blowing up, and it's all these screenshots from Chloe, and she's like, what do I do? She's like, this crazy guy is messaging him. I was like,
He
ignore
called here too, like 600
wa-
times.
Did you respond back to him in
Oh,
that message?
No,
Good.
we waited till they called here, and then Dave talked to him, and we explained to, I'm assuming the mother, fully well that they willingly sent us $300. If I went to a club and I was like, hey, I gotta pee, how much to cut the line, and the bouncer was like $300, I would be like, fuck off, I'm gonna go pee on that tree.
I'm going to the 7-Eleven literally
There's
across
2 gas
the street.
stations.
Taco Bell's across the street and get you some
Right.
food while you're at
Yeah.
it.
Also, she tried to dispute the charge on Venmo, and I emailed Venmo. I'm like, hey, like, this is what happened. And they were like, well, do you have any information? I sent them the video camera footage, and they were like, thank you so much. This charge is no longer being disputed.
So then we still got $300.
Yeah.
Do you
It's not my fault you're
remember
stupid.
Preacher's song? That was like the national speaker.
Yeah, first of all, they can probably still hear you on the mic when you do that.
Yeah, that definitely picked up.
We're gonna have to edit that out.
I'll make it louder.
Yeah, I remember that one. I don't know if we want to blast that on the pod, but long story short, some girl said a racial slur to one of our security guards, and
on the phone.
on the phone,
Leaving
yeah,
a voicemail
yeah,
at the
she
Whiskey
left me a
Baron.
really nasty voicemail, and James, with his pettiness and investigating skills, pretty much found out everything about her, pretty much down to her address. We found her parents, her sisters, LinkedIn. We found everything, and we sent the voicemail to her mom because we found the mom's phone number, and we were just like, hey, BT Dubs, this is the things that your daughters are saying when they're out. She never responded. I mean, I wouldn't either, but
Well,
I
so
thought
she took care of
nicer than
business.
Me, I would have sent it to like her place of employment.
we almost did.
colleges, anything.
We almost did, but then we're just keeping it in the back pocket, you know?
She'll be back. They always come back.
They always
Or they try
do.
to come back.
That's what's cool with our new ID scanning system is I can ban people in the app. And so I just last week, this girl tried to come to the front door, and I was like, look at here, you're banned. Sorry. She's like, why was I banned? Well, we kicked her out for underage drinking, right? I walked up to her, and with full confidence, she had an alcoholic beverage in her hand with X's. And I said, that's crazy. You need to go.
I'm just holding it for my friend.
The guy that she's talking to proceeds to get her Snapchat, but while I'm kicking her out, he's over 21. She's under. And I'm like, Gross, but okay. Do you, bro? So we kick her out. 20 minutes later, someone's like, hey, I think that's the girl you just kicked out. I just saw her go in the bathroom. And I was like, you've got to be shitting me. So I go in there, and sure enough, she's in there. And Gracie's talking to her, and she's like playing dumb. She's like, no, you didn't just kick me out. You didn't do that. And Gracie's like, I have you in the app that I like kicked you out. Like, I have reference. So we kick her out. So when she showed up this week, again, she was playing dumb. She's like, that didn't happen. And I was like, what? Yes, it did. I have footage. I have proof. I have you banned in my app for a reason.
Your picture is in this app.
They all suffer from like personality crises because they come in the first time one person. They walk out when they get kicked out. They either change their clothes. My favorite's when they just put sunglasses on. They don't change any of their clothing.
Two guys just swap shirts. So they just swapped shirts. Like, we couldn't recognize the shirts.
Or they, like, if they have a hoodie on, they come in with just a tank top. Like, they slowly start losing their clothing. Like, I know who you are. Like, I know what you didn't change your face. Like,
your hair is still spiked with tips.
Right,
dude.
Your pit vipers don't hide your whole face.
Especially when you were wearing them on the dance floor when I kicked you out.
Exactly.
I know it's you.
Especially when you made the bouncer stop kicking you out so you could pick your pit vipers up off the floor. Yeah, I know they're yours.
Especially when people are like, what dude is it? And you're like, the one with pit vipers on the stage.
And he's 6'4", and he's the only one on the stage.
With pit vipers. Come on.
You were gone, but we had some dude split his head open on the dance floor a couple months ago.
Doing what?
He tried to do a backflip and landed on his forehead.
Oh, yeah.
People are like, don't do it. He's like, I'm going to do it.
As soon as you tell someone on a Wednesday night, don't do it, or you can't do it,
they're going to do it
10 times faster than they originally were.
He comes running out of the front door, and we had cops, and he's holding his face, and it's just dripping blood. And I'm thinking that he got in a fight. Someone like smashed a bottle on his head. And I'm like, hey, bro, like, what happened? He's like, I fell on the dance floor. And I was like, come again? You're telling me that you gashed your head open because you tripped over air on the dance floor? I was like, did someone hit you? He's like, no, nothing like that. And I was like, all right. Well, the DJ calls me and Brandon inside because he's like, there's blood on the dance floor. Some kid ate shit doing a backflip. And I was like, oh, I got to get the footage of this. So I go to the security cameras, and sure enough, everyone makes a circle for him. And he's like, does it land straight on his forehead? Everyone goes, oh, and runs away.
And then they turn around, and no one's going to remember him, and he just busted his head open for nothing.
Yep. I was showing the cops out front. I was like, oh, look at this. And then he was sitting up front. I was like, is this you? He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah. So much for falling on the dance floor.
Don't do anything dumb at Whiskey Baron. We all laugh about it later.
Oh, there's cameras everywhere. I try to tell people.
Even though it's dark, we can see them clear as day.
Yeah. Night vision.
Yeah.
It's really spooky, but it works. Also, I can still tell who you are, even though the camera's black and white. I had a girl one time try to be like, that's not me. And I was like, are you serious? Like, you're wearing that's the outfit. It's you. And she's like, nope, it's not. I was like, that's crazy. Just because it's in black and white doesn't mean I can't tell. And it's.
I've also had people like fake accents when they get kicked out. Like the girl that. I think you were there. It was like me, you, and Hope. It was this little bitty blonde girl. She got kicked out, snuck her way back in. Yeah. And then she faked an accent when we kicked her out the second time.
Like she didn't speak English?
She spoke English just fine the first time I kicked her out.
Yeah, she was really playing into it to like be like, nope, that wasn't me. And we were like, do you think we're like stupid? Like what?
And a lot of the times, like as bartenders, we're in a separate world than the bouncers are, like on Wednesday nights. We don't know anything that happens outside of like what's going on at our bar. So all these stories are actually new to me because I'm like, what? But we just don't know these things because there's so much that happens outside of our bar area. Whatever happens at our bar is what we can see. Yeah. And then, beyond that, you're like, what's going on at West? There's a whole group of security people, and then you just forget about it and don't ask. So pretty it's like much. All of this is new.
You just see them like carry the body by, and they're kind of like fighting the security guards.
At this point, you just don't ask questions. Actually, you see like a crowd of security guards over there, and then somebody gets like outside, and you're like, and another one bites the dust,
and you're like, what?
And
can
then
I
you're
get
just
you?
like, what can I get you? Yeah. Oh, you don't know? What can I get you?
My favorite's when they're like, oh, that's my friend, I have to go. And you're like in the middle of making their drink.
You're like,
I'm like, oh,
I'll put it on the spill tab.
So do you want this or no?
They're like, actually, that's my friend. I have to close his and mine tab. And you're like, yeah, sure, no problem. Print them out right now. Please get out of here. Well, Chloe, thanks for joining us today.
Of course, this was fun.
Chloe, do you have any wise words to send us with?
Oh, no. I have no.
I just wanted to spring that on you.
Yeah, not on the spot. If you give me like 10 minutes, I might think of something.
I'll let it. I was gonna say nope. I was gonna say moisten, but marinate. But same.
Same. This is what Jordan loves to do at the end of every podcast.
I like to talk more at the end of every
Do you have
podcast.
wise words to leave us with?
If you're gonna do a backflip on the dance floor, land it.
Please.
Or just don't do it.
Or just don't do it.
Do it outside in the grass.
If you're gonna fight in the bathroom, don't do it.
Don't
Fight
do
out
it
in the
either.
parking lot.
And if you got yourself kicked out, don't leave a Yelp review about it.
Shut the fuck up! Hey, you shut up! Shut the fuck up! Shut up! Shut up!
Or do. We just screenshot it and make fun of it in the group chat. All right. Thanks for joining Girl Yap. We have our own Instagram page now, girl.yap.pod. Give us a follow. We're pretty proud of it. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.